hold myself accountable. I have to go get my beverage, y'all. What's going on, good people? Hello, hello, beautiful people. How are you doing? Welcome to Let's Talk Love. I am your host, Miss Love Doctor. I am going to be your favorite prescriber if I'm not already your favorite prescriber. But yeah, we here and we have real conversations that are matters of the heart. Um, and the fact of the matter is, when you have things that are on your heart, in reality, you really need somebody to talk to about certain things. So, um, kind of putting yourself in that position, I understand why we do the things we do here on, said internets and all the different things of whatnots. So, um, before we begin, I want you to find a comfortable seat, get relaxed, soften your jaw, let your shoulders drop. Let's get rid of the whole day. Some of us been to work, some of us been in traffic, some of us been maybe even in different circumstances than we, um, what am I trying to say, even understand, right? So we'll take a couple deep breaths. I'm gonna go get my beverage because I'm not gonna be able to talk to you guys this whole entire time. But I'm gonna dip over there. I'm gonna dip, get the beverage, but and then we'll take our deep breaths. Hold that thought. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I feel like other people probably doing some way crazier stuff, but here we are. I had to get a beverage to make sure we were straight. So you guys make sure you get a beverage too, because at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, I wasn't gonna be able to keep talking to y'all with this dry throat. But we got real things to have a conversation about. And this conversation is kind of near and dear to my heart. But if you think about it, if you're the person with the topics, do you feel like with your topics, they are somehow subconsciously aligned with you and what you got going on? So to get rid of the day, let's go ahead and take a couple deep breaths together. Inhale for the count of four. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to hold for 2. Exhale for 6. And then I'm going to give you some kind words and some affirmation in order to help us all kind of relax ourselves. So let me know when you get in a relaxed state. Drop a heart, drop a heart when you get in a relaxed state. Hey, y'all. It's a restricted for some audience. What does that mean? TikTok, I don't know how to work you. So you're going to have to break that down to me. So place your feet on the floor, get yourself grounded. Imagine you being in a warm spot. I would preferably like to be in the ocean with some gentle roots that are growing from your soul. From the soles of your feet, with each inhale, feel the root lengthen through your body. With each exhale, feel them sink deep into the earth. So we're going to go ahead and take that deep breath in. Picture that root moving up through the soil, around the stones, past the cool waters, until you reach a steady. You got you digging your feet down in the sand, nourishing your body, which is your palace, which is it's your temple. When you breathe in, feel the roots lengthen more. When you breathe out, feel the weight settle. We want to make sure that the heaviness that we feel in, we can get rid of that in a safer way, like a tree holding a steady breeze. Get your body loose. Because listen, I think throughout the day, my body, for whatever reason, is tight. It'd be tightening up. It tenses up. But I'm working on it. I'm working on it. And so, but keep your feet grounded and planted. So tonight we're gonna speak to our people who have those rare hearts, right? There's a heart that probably having palpitations at this time with everything that's going on in the world, right? Yeah, I want you to know that you are not alone. And you probably thinking a whole lot about world peace is on your mind constantly. And it's hard to even have a conversation with anyone right now because, and this is my personal opinion, because I feel like we've all become, not all, y'all know I don't like to say all, but a good majority have become quite jaded, and I may say um environmentalized. Maybe I could use that as a word versus institutionalized, but we're all within the same system. So I would assume that that could be a good word too. And it's hard to have conversations with people because I'm noticing when I'm talking to people, I get quiet because their idea, and then I get mad at myself if I do say something, but I feel like it's kind of my place to say something because somebody else has to say the opposite of what everybody else saying. And I think that brings you to a place of like, you really don't want to be like everybody else. Like, you don't want to be like everybody else. And this ideology of violence is the way of the world. And I'm being told that I should get used to it. I should be used to it. This is how it is. This is what it is. We live in the wild, wild west. I cannot. I'm sorry. I cannot subscribe. I cannot. Um, I don't want to, you know, uh, and I'm not. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that we can empathize with one another more than we even know. Every day, on an everyday basis, you can literally empathize with the person that's driving next to you. You could probably empathize with the person who's making your food. You can definitely empathize with your barista. You can definitely empathize with your therapist. You can empathize with some people on a daily basis. But it doesn't, I don't need to know that if you stub your toe on the edge of the couch, that it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. And I can imagine how I feel. That's why we be like, ooh, you know what I mean? And I think about women. And I'm talking to you women, definitely. I'm a woman, so I feel like I have a space to say this. Um, there is no reason for us to be as nasty as we are to one another. It's kind of like beyond me. You know what I mean? When we all understand that there's something that we all have to endure every month, and at the end of the day, there's no reason why I shouldn't have any empathy for you. There's no reason why I shouldn't have any empathy for you because I already know that like you had I should know, right? I know this happening with me, and I want somebody to have some compassion for me. And so with you having an emotional week leading up to it, a painful, messy week of it, and then a very gross and uncomfortable week after it while your hormones are trying to reset itself, we should have so much empathy and compassion for each other just on that strength alone. Period. That's just my ideology on how we should be treating each other, especially knowing, like, you know, that this woman may be standing up here in this meeting and she may be cramping and she may be emotional. She needs some chocolate. Like, she is going through it, but she got to push through. She got to smile. And here you come being nasty. Like, come on, you know? So this today we're definitely talking about the beautiful hearts of our empaths. I think it's very important to tap in with the empaths because I be needing to tap in with myself. It's a lot. It's a lot when you naturally care in a way that society absolutely doesn't want you to care. So it's almost like consistently you're getting your own feelings hurt and you don't understand why nobody don't get it But at the end of the day, you absolutely know why they don't get it. You absolutely 100% know why they don't get it. But at the end of the day, you just want everybody to get it. You just wish everybody would get it. You know what I mean? So I feel that. And at the end of the day, we gotta start to tap in with our empaths. So um, today's tools are about sending safety signals back to your body so you can stay compassionate without losing yourself, your mind, or your morals. Because listen, losing yourself is so tough. Getting yourself back, specifically when you losing yourself to caring about what's happening in the world, um, it starts to, do things to you subconsciously within your body, physically, then your mind, and then technically all the things that you despise, it's like you're being pushed to do, which will ultimately make you lose your morals. Like, come on, what? What is happening? All right, so as you guys know or don't know, if you're new to Let's Talk Love, welcome in. Make sure you guys drop me some hearts, let me know you're there, join the conversation. If you are an empath, definitely give me one of these. If you are an empath, give me one of these because I'm talking to you. This is for you. Somebody sees you, somebody loves you, somebody else empathizes with you. It's me. It's me. I empathize with you. I empathize with mostly everything, any creature like ants. I don't want to step on an ant. I don't want you to come in my house either. We got to have some boundaries. Go on out, go on outside. You the tiniest little thing. You be working your little self, you and your little colony. Go on, you know. I'll go on, but don't come in the house. That's how I talk to them too. So an empath is someone who senses and often observes other people's emotions and their physical state. The sensitivity is real and rooted in how your nervous system responds to emotional cues, and you can feel like you're taking on the person's moods as your own. And so I always say it's like and I really shouldn't have even got to the place of like saying it, but it's almost like John Coffey. I don't know if you guys saw the movie The Green Mile, right? And it's so the message is so deep. It's the fact that he has a healing power, but if he can get to you and touch you and absorb it, it will save you. It will heal you, right? And sometimes I'll be like, oh my God, this person, they hurt themselves here or whatever. Next thing you know, I'm like, why is my elbow hurting? Like, what do I have to do with this? I'm like, am I like John Coffey around here? Because listen, but if it's possible to heal somebody, what's wrong with that? Long as your body can re-heal itself. But taking on somebody else's pain and taking on somebody else's trauma and taking on whatever they're dealing with, it becomes to be a thing within your body. Um, and so experiencing others' emotions and physical states, it's with an unusual high intensity too. So it's not just like, oh, like I sympathize with you. It's not like, oh, I get it. I sympathize with you. I get I empathize with you is like I feel you. No, no, no. I feel you. I feel your pain, and you feel their joy, and you feel all of it as if it's your own thing. And a person can easily just tell you to turn it off. But how? If y'all know how to turn it off, let me know. And I mean, not in a negative way. Don't come telling me about, all this other stuff because I already got enough negative stuff I'm trying to get rid of. So at the end of the day, if you have a way to tell me how to get, I don't know. If you have a way, let me know because I try. And that kind of just makes you kind of like rough around the edges because it's almost like a protective thing at this point now. It's like now you're protecting yourself. It's not necessarily that you're not still feeling everything for the person or for the people or for the world. Now, somebody recently told me that like you can't just care about everybody in the world. And I'm like, why not? Why not? They're human beings. They're humans. You're a human. I'm a human. Why not? Why can't we care about everybody in the world? Why do we have to pick and choose who we care about? And I mean their well-being, and I mean their state of life, their quality of life. And I'm that's gonna take me down a whole nother rabbit hole. But the people who are supposed to love the position of being in control of our lives, why aren't you making sure that we all have a great quality of life? That's just what you should be doing. But I digress for now. Um, but empaths can manifest in your brain and your body. That's the part where you really gotta pay attention because it mirrors neuron activity, which can amplify emotional, resonance, causing empaths to internally mirror others' expressions and sensations. So now you are acting these things out, like you're acting out things that you're feeling for someone else. And we see that in a way where a person can get over the top passionate about a situation that they've never been in, but they will argue you down. They will argue you down about this and be mad, and it's like, why are you so upset? And I've caught myself doing that, and I love it that somebody caught me in my tracks because I now hear it in my head. But I'm like, no, that ain't right, and this and that. And she was like, what bone do you have in this fight? And I was like, well, I care about the person that I'm talking, but at the end of the day, what bone did I really have in this fight? I really didn't have no bone in this fight. What's going on, Sage? What's happening? I see y'all in here. I can't really see who's in of these other ones, but if you could drop a heart, it'll let me know you there. Definitely join the conversation. I'm checking to see if there's any comments or anything like that. So, emotional versus cognitive empathy. It mapped to the different neural systems. Emotional empathy engages regions like the insula and the somatic feeling centers, while cognitive empathy recruits areas involved with the perspective taking and decision making. Not the perspective taking and the decision making. These differences help explain why some empaths feel sensation in their body while others primarily just understand the emotional intellectually. And sensory processes sensitivity describes a trait where sensory and emotional input are processed more deeply. The research suggests that roughly 15 to 20% of people show this pattern, which overlaps with many of identified empaths. So if you are an empath and you can relate to that, and can you identify to that, let me hear about it. Let me drop me something and let me know that you can almost feel this thing in your body, and you can be persuaded by the perspective taking and the decision making of whatever this thing is, you know what I mean, that you're feeling really empathetic about. It kind of is a very internal thing that you can't put your finger on. Like, you can't just hit the switch, you know what I mean? Like, you want to really bad sometimes, but then who would that make you? Who are you now if that's the case? You know what I mean? So, empaths, we absorb, and we need to figure out like why we're absorbing so much. What to say, Melanin Drops? Hello, Melanin Drops. What's up, Carlos? I can't see if anybody's in there, but I'm gonna speak to y'all if I see y'all for sure, because I want y'all to tell me what's going on. Are you an empath? I want to know if I'm just the only one floating around out here in the world. But it's so crazy is when you meet somebody that's empathetic like that, that is an empath. It's almost like your conversation. You understand their conversation when they start talking, to the point of like they're saying specific words about how they describe their emotional experience of what someone else is going through, and you're like, uh-huh. You feel a little deep, don't you? Yeah, you do. But why do we absorb so much? Empaths may have a heightened mirror neuron response in the nervous system that registers other emotional signals intensely, which leads to chronic overstimulation and dysregulation. So you got to be in here like, woosa, how you doing with his ears? Woosa, woosa, woosa. Yeah. You say, did you, oh, say invite you as a guest? I thought it said you asked to be joined as a guest. I'm like, you trying to tap in? Okay. So let's just say all this is going on inside your body. What do you think is most affected? The nervous system. The nervous system gets overwhelmed. The nervous system needs safety. The nervous system needs security. When I look at human beings, I wonder why we're so overly stimulated to the point that I know that neurologically you are stretched. When you think about all the things that one person may deal with in a 24-hour span, minus or adding to the time that they either sleep or did not get to sleep. I don't know. But when you're overwhelmed, empaths can deal and default to what's the most dangerous thing is fight or flight. And you definitely gonna fight or flight or shut down. And that becomes very, very exhausting. Like very exhausting. Like it exhausts you. Mind you, you're not even this ain't even talking about dealing with your own stuff. We're not talking about you dealing with your own stuff. We're talking about you simply having situations where you are um absorbing other people's energy. And I had this thing where I didn't watch the news, right? And I didn't watch the news because I know, like, I know how it's going to make me feel. I know this. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I have gotten to a point where actually I didn't watch violent movies. I didn't listen to violent music. I didn't watch anything with like families deceiving families. I didn't watch anything but like love therapy, comedy, documentaries, depending. I didn't want to see any documentaries or any violence in it. But at the end of the day, I had to shut it all out. I had to shut it all out to reset my nervous system. Obviously, I didn't say like, let me shut this out so I can reset my nervous system. My nervous system said, I don't want to see nothing else violent. I don't want to hear people being shot in music. I don't want to see humans being shot. I don't think anybody should be playing games shooting people. That's just me, right? Because we see the effects of people getting shot. We see the long term effects of what happens to the people who love those people. And that's on both ends of the spectrum, correct? So, taking all that stuff out of my system, I had to do a hard reset at the end of the day because I was trying to figure out, um, realizing that you are what you consume and being in constant fight or flight. That's what I'm saying. My muscles don't know what to do. They tightening up, they loosening up, they ready to go. They like, come on. And eventually you just what? Shut down. So body-based practices help send safety signals to the nervous system so that the parasympathetic response can return. The somatic grounding and break breath work are effective ways to shift this nervous system state. And talking about breathing, like you don't really realize that you're not breathing correctly for a long time. And I'm learning, like, now that I'm engaging my core and wanting to get rid of all of that was there, which I was told by a perfect stranger, that's trauma. And it seemed like once they said that, it was like a different state of mind had happened, and I could pinpoint when I started gaining weight and everything, right? And but like engaging your core to effectively breathe so that the oxygen is actually pushing in and out of your body, which is helping your brain, your heart. and it's the greatest way to detox your body. And just imagine all these years you not even really breathing right, because you sure ain't moving this stomach. This stomach don't move because you don't even want it to move. You open, nobody see it, but in reality you should be making it move. Like, look at it. Y'all better watch out. Y'all better watch out. No, I better watch out. So the psychological and neurological basis for many empaths is an ability to link the mirror-like neural systems, and this phenomenon is called the neural resonance. I don't know what I was saying here. The same thing. Um, Effects on the nervous system and daily functions. That's really where we needed to be at, because daily this is happening. Daily, your body's taking a hit. Daily, your nervous system is trying to get itself back regulated. And if you're constantly in the state of fight or flight or freeze or shut down, there's what is it, fight, flight, or I feel like there's fawn. Fawn. That's another one too. People fawn a lot with that. Now, chronic overstimulation is constant intakes of other emotional signals, and it can keep the automatic nervous system in a heightened state, producing fatigue, anxiety, and shutdown. That's what we just said, right? Emotional and somatic systems. Empaths are experiencing headaches, muscle tensions, um, bursarial sensationals that mirror something else or someone else's distress. And you have boundary erosion, like the boundary erosion. So without clear energetic or interpersonal boundaries, empaths can lose track of which feelings belong to them and which feelings do not belong to them, so that they can either increase or decrease the burnout of relational strain. And so what I was saying about the news was, I have gotten myself kind of consumed, and then our timeline kind of is showing violence anyway. And it didn't dawn on me till the other day, and I had to do the screen like this because if you scrolling and a video just plays, um, I didn't want to see it. Like, I blocked it. It was a building being dropped on um over there in this other country, and it was just like, oh, like, that is traumatic. That is traumatic. And the fact that it's been shared and shared and shared, there's just certain things that your body's not equipped to see. I'm not equipped to see. I don't want to see it, you know? So, but I've realized that I have low key started back slightly, and I've ingested some violent videos and images, I should say, that I worked hard on not seeing. So it's very unfair because I'm working my tail off to not see all your violent ways. Not saying that I don't know that they're there, but the things that are being shared, I don't think that the social media, I think that they should, I'm not gonna go there. But the fact that people are sharing the certain things that you're sharing, everybody don't want to see that. I'm the type, I don't want to see it. Like, I had my timeline so structured. It was babies, weddings, the ocean, and affirmations. It was great. It was a great place to be. Babies make you smile. Babies make you, oh, weddings and weddings. Yeah. And now my timeline is pretty convoluted. But different types of empaths, the psychologists and popular sources identified these as several types. I try to go get some informationes from people that's not the love doctor, but so you got your emotional empaths. You feel others. You feel others deeply. You feel their joy, their sadness, their anxiety, but you feel them. When somebody say, I feel you, you need to check their temperature and see, do they really feel you? Okay, we got some comments over here. Hey Jay, what's going on? What's up? Beauty on the B. We got Beauty on the B in the building. She cannot be in the studio with us today, of course. Well, I said the studio at the Love Lounge. Jay said those are parasites. Get those. Let's say get those sours out of its good, and it helps take the bloating down in your stomach and everything. I wouldn't lie to you. That's one craving parasite. You need to talk. You know what's so funny, Jay, is that I just wrote down a parasite. I have a parasite tea in there, and I have some woodworm vitamins in there. But I just saw something about ginger, cinnamon, and lemon to do a quick little. I need to do a major detox. I need to do a major detox. So I've been looking for different detoxes to do. Something wrong with me. I've been looking for different detoxes to do to make sure that I can cleanse my body because I feel it. Like I feel like I need to flush it out. But so thank you. I appreciate that. I definitely agree with you on that. And it's rough. You know, I went from eating meat to not eating meat and to get those parasites out of your body. Like it is a transition that, most people don't really talk about. I said I was gonna do a sit down with y'all. We talk about get all my vegans in the building and talk about like what that was like um what that experience was like to transition over, from being a meat connoisseur to vegan. Your body definitely changes. So you got physical empaths. They sense physical pain and fatigue experienced by others. Like they can feel it on you. Like, you okay? Like, why you ask me that? Why you ask me that? Well, they ask you that because they don't think you're okay. You're giving off some type of physical messaging that's letting them know that there is something in there. Intuitive empaths pick up on unspoken needs, intentions, or energy shifts, often appeared almost like a psychic. Yup, I think I got all of them. Now, a dark empath uses insight into others' emotions for personal advantage. A dark empath. Huh. We might need to do a whole episode on that. Uses the insight into others' emotions for personal advantage. Hmm. Very interesting. What y'all think about that? Can you relate with any of those? Emotional empath, physical empath, intuitive empath, or dark empath? And if you're a dark empath, it's okay. It's all right. You probably done been there, done that. So the practical impacts of a common and the challenges that we feel when you're an empath is social exhaustion, right? After you are with a crowd, and there's an emotional, intense setting, as a love coach, it seems like after I do an event, I am exhausted. And I'm a hugger. I do feel like hugging is a cure for a lot of things, which we know that. We all know the backing of 8 hugs a day keep the depression away is what they say. 8 intentional hugs, not 8 of them little pets that people be giving you. Like, hey girl. I mean, those are great too, but you sometimes you need a nice hug. Um, and you do events and you hug everybody there. That's a lot of energy exchanging, and people are, doing work. Like usually we're going to be talking about something with love and life, and I always want to have a solution, some type of healing or therapeutic solution. So at the end of the day, um, yeah, it's probably going to be some feels in the building, depending on what we're doing. But I have often felt the social exhaustion. Not when I go out to dance, because I feel like I don't even pay attention to anybody because I be dancing. So difficulty setting limits because compassion can be mistaken for a permission for people to absorb you. Sometimes people know that you're an empath and they want to give you this thing. They need somebody else to come and take it. Like, I know that this is who you are. You have this energy about you. So let me come and dump. Let me dump. Let me dump on you one time. and at the end of the day, you're like, okay, wait a minute now. I don't know if I was ready for all that heaviness. You should have talked to me about what you want to talk to me about, because at the end of the day, I don't know if we needed to talk about that, you know? But you can confuse yourself with others, leading to identity drift and decision paralysis, and getting yourself in a position where you don't know what decision to make based off of how something has already made you feel off of an experience that someone else has felt, right? And we could take that on real easy. You'd be like, nah, I ain't going down there because last time little Jaquan went down there, this, and this happened. Nope, I ain't going. Now you paralyze yourself for your own experiences. And you hear people talk about going out the country, and they're like, I ain't going out the country. You don't know what could happen. I'm thinking, like, why do you think something will happen? So you have evidence-informed strategies for regulation and safety, because I want to make sure that we're doing stuff that is going to work, stuff that is going to help us. Okay, empaths. All right. All right. Y'all ain't drop no hearts. Hello, John and Raphael. And I can't say your name, but hello, Damien. Welcome, welcome. So, body-based grounding. That's a little bit of what we did when we started out. Like, I like for us to reset our energy before we start talking about love and life and all the things, because you got the hustle and bustle of the day. Some of you guys are probably listening right in from your car or listening to it at work or whatever, but we got the day. It's like the day is just is a thing, and it keeps going. So doing breath work, grounding, visualization. And I know they say barefoot contact with the earth. I'm working on that because I be want to like put my feet. Only place that I will put my feet is if I feel like the sand is nice and not like rocky or dirty at the beach. But I'm at the park. There's grass. There's me. I'm like nothing to it but to do it. Let's do it. Take your shoe off. Put your feet in the grass. And then it feels like I see like little bugs. And then I start my mind is like, I don't think I want to do it. And I see people just in the grass, loving their best life, not thinking about anything else. And I just want to be that person. But I do know that I have some childhood trauma that I really don't like putting my feet on things as it is anymore. So that has a lot to do with it. But I'm really working on it. I'm really, really working on it. And you can hug a tree. Definitely hug a tree to get grounded. Send safety signals to the nervous system and reduces the sympathetic arousal. Boundary skills. Brief, intentional setting boundaries before you even interact. Short, clear limits. Straight to the point. This helps modulate your mirror neuron at reactivity and conserve emotional resources. You set them boundaries before you get there. Like sometimes I have to do that um, in order, especially if I know where I'm going and I know who I'm dealing with and I know what they're dealing with. I have to tell myself, like, just go in here. Don't even get into the conversation. If they bring the conversation to you, fine. But it's almost like you have to have a talk with yourself that you don't automatically go in and absorb yourself into said thing, right? Sensory anchors. You can get texture, scent, sound. You know what I've been using lately is peppermint oil. So all this dirty air outside, um, yeah, I'm not happy about it if you can tell. Um, my nose is always doing the thing. So I've been learning that the peppermint oil is just like, when I tell you I put some like on a piece of tissue and just balled it up in my hand and went to sleep with it like this, it was like the best thing. I woke up, I could breathe so good. My little skin was burning a little bit from the peppermint because it was a little warm, but I could breathe. It was just like it was the greatest aromatherapy that I needed to go to sleep. So I don't know if scents is good for you, but they provide just that single moment and that cue to reorientate yourself away from being absorbed to a lot of different emotions that don't belong to you, boo. So there's some prompts and some things that we could practices that we can do. You could do a daily check-in. Name one feeling that's yours. Name one feeling that is yours. You know, this is what you feeling that you notice that you're feeling in the moment, not that what you notice somebody else is feeling. And it's okay not to feel what the person is feeling. You can sympathize with them. I'm not saying don't care about your people because you can't stop that. 2-minute grounding, hand on your heart, breathing for 3 cycles very slowly. Then name 3 things that you can see. I can see some glasses. I can see the heart, and I can see me. No. So I don't know why that's so therapeutic, but they put that in a lot of different places. Name things that you can see while you're trying to regulate yourself. And then one of the most powerful tools that you can have is journaling, journal prompts, where you can have these prompts where you can automatically create them to tell yourself, this is what you need to know in order for you to not absorb other people's emotions on such a high intense level. And it's like, where in my body do I first notice other people's emotions? I notice it right here. If you see me do this, like, like I literally felt whatever that was, and it was a little painful. And so, like, oh my, like, oh, like, oh, you can feel it. And so, and then finding out what's the small ritual that can return me back to myself. So let's find out. I don't see if nobody said that they are an empath. I think Beauty on the Beast says she's an empath. Um, but here's a few signs to let you know, just in case that you didn't know, just in case that you were like, am I an empath? Do I just care about people? Or am I just very sympathetic to people? Or do I not really give a damn? People gonna do what people gonna do. And I think there's such a meter for that, right? For the give a damn is busted to overly empathetic. We at least gotta try to meet here. Can we meet here? The first things first, you take on other people's emotions as their own. And sometimes you experience it suddenly, overwhelmingly, and in public. In public. Let me think about this last time I was in public. Um, it was just on the tip of my tongue too. It was very recent. And it's like I get in these deep conversations, and it's always somebody who's ready to tell me. So I don't know what I'm giving off, but I'll look at other people in the room and they're talking and chit chatting and laughing. And here I am sitting here having a very deep, intentional conversation that obviously someone needs to have with me. But I'm like, why are they choosing to have it with me? And what are they over there talking about? What are they laughing about? And I be so serious when I say that. But I was just with someone recently. It gotta come back to me. It'll come back to me. Um, you totally understand where people are coming from. You know exactly. You can literally empathize with the story. Now, the problem for me is when people are trying to tell you a story like that dark empath, that's the part I don't like. Like they telling you this story because they know it's gonna draw you in and they know that it's going to make you really understand where they are, and you're probably a fixer. You're probably a fixer too. And as a fixer, you see that there's a problem that needs to be fixed and you have the tools to fix them. So why not? It's almost like you are made out to be the bad person for trying to be a good person because people walk all over that. They walk all over that shit. The vibe in the room, it matters to you a lot. You want to make sure people are having a good time. You want to make sure people energy is good. You want to make sure everybody is feeling real comfortable, real smooth. The vibe is the vibing, right? And if anybody's not feeling that way, you want to check in. In reality, it's like it's okay to let them not feel away. It's not You're not the vibe police, but in reality, you can't help it. I notice about me is that if it gets quiet on the phone for too long, then I'll be like, all right, I'll talk to you. later. Because in my mind, I feel like we must have exhausted all things. But I think that I've learned that it's okay to just rest in that silence for a minute. This person wants to be on the phone with you. This person wants to spend this telephonic time with you. So sometimes I rest in it. But if I get quiet, if it gets too quiet, then I'm starting to search for the vibe. You get what I'm saying? And so people turn to you for advice. They turn to you for advice, um, and you find yourself in some very deep conversations. I always joke about the one conversation, and I'm not joking it about it because this conversation was funny. I joke about it because my friend was like, "I can't leave you alone for 5 minutes." Listen, you're at the bank. I'm sitting here. Lady sits down. Now I know about all three of her cats. One cat, I don't know. I think the cat passed away. And the other cats are very sad. And I was here. We were just here. Now I'm here with her. And she's like, "How did you get into a therapy session?" I was like, I was sitting here minding my own business. Okay, that's what I was doing, and that's typically what I am doing. This is the one. This is the one. Tragic or violent events on TV or on your screen can completely incapacitate you. Now, my friend and coworker, I call it the throw up news, right? And that's why I said I've been kind of pulled in a little bit because when you open up a web browser, you get to work. Good morning. Good morning. You log into your computer, you open up the web browser because you got to log into something. Throw up news. It's just like little bitty squares of all kinds of shit. And I'm like, oh my God. It's like, close the window, close it, stop looking at it. I'm like, but did you know that this was going on? And did you? And there was a time where I could be like, honestly, I would not even look at it because I didn't want to see anything that was going to pull me in. Now I'm clicking on things, reading about things. Um, and Godfrey has got me pulled in. That's when I realized that I had really been watching violent stuff. Mind you, for my birthday, all of a sudden I woke up and was like, I want to go to the John Wick experience. Everybody looked at me like, you're crazy. You don't do violence. I'm like, I know. That's what we should be paying attention to, is that I want to go. And but Godfrey, the comedian, has this thing called Leave Black People Alone. Why do I watch it? Because I know there's violence on the other end, but I still watch it. So I'm like, who am I now? Where am I at in my life now? For 3.5 years, I didn't watch nothing violent. But now here I am clicking on it. What's up? What's up with that? Diagnose me. Where the therapist at? Um, you can't contain your love for pets, animals, or babies. Now, I know there's some serious empathetic pet lovers, animal lovers. Um, I knew that I had crossed over a level of empathy into empath world when I went I don't know if we went to the zoo first or we went to the aquarium first. And I was like, no, no. I was in Curacao and we went to an ostrich farm. And I felt like a Debbie Downer because I was sad as hell for them ostriches. I had an attitude with the tour guide. I was trying to figure out who the owner is. I wanted to know how they consume the animals. Who did they purchase them from? Because they're born in the wild. Who's selling ostriches? I'm telling you, I had an attitude because he's telling us the story about the ostriches. And he's like, yeah, they could get up to 65 to 70 miles an hour. I'm like, well, don't look like they run into their fullest capacity because they only got from here to there in this cage, in this jail. You got them locked in. I was like, see, These are no longer things that are exciting. You used to go to the zoo and be so happy to see the animals, and you go to the aquarium. We went to the aquarium. I'm mad as hell for the whale. Like, this whale is not living its best life. Do you know whales swim across the ocean? You have it in a pool. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. That's when I knew. That's when I knew. I was like, yeah, you have crossed over because this is no longer enjoyable for you. This is actually something you want to advocate for now. Let these animals go. On Dory, it said rescue. What did it say? Rescue, rehabilitate, and release. Not rescue, rehabilitate, and put it in your aquarium and charge people $50 to get in to look at these fish that you stole. All right, all right. See, my empath is empathing. Um, you might feel people's physical illness too, not just their emotion. Like, you can feel in your body sometimes what other people are feeling. You can become overwhelmed inside of your intimate relationships. Um, I think that's a big one. I think that's huge. And because you become like a walking lie detector. You're trying to figure things out. Like, wait a minute, what that's how you saying you feel and what you're displaying are two totally different things. They're not the same thing, and you can't understand why any leaders wouldn't put their teams first. Ain't that what I said? I don't have an understanding of why leaders don't put their team first. And guess what I done did? I don't went back to school, and I don't went back to school for organizational leadership and development. And every single assignment is about being human led. If I'm going to be a great leader, I have to be about the humans. I have to be about my team. And I have to lead by example. I'm like, if it's in all these books, y'all didn't teach. Do any of the leaders that we have in our society of the world have to take any type of leadership classes before becoming a leader? If y'all know, let me know. Y'all might know way more than me. But if I got to take the classes and it's telling me, and when I say every assignment, I'm in strategic change right now. How can I make changes strategically? Uh, you have to be who you say you are. You have to be the change. And with you being the change, the people see that, they respect that. They also don't mind changing because you ain't coming at them all foul and sideways. You have their best interests at heart. You know, leaders, put your team first. Parents, put your kids first. Spouses, put each other first. Humans, let's put each other first. Right? Like I said the other day, I'm trying to let this lady go because I'm a kind person. I can let you in. I don't have to cut people off in traffic. I try to tell myself in my mind, like, yeah, they cut me off. Maybe they having an emergency. Maybe they late to work. They boss be tripping. So I'm trying to let this lady go. And I'm like, girl, what is your problem? Go. But then I'm realizing like she's also trying to let me go. So we both in two cars trying to let each other go because that was a moment where we were both showing a sign of kindness. And that's when I had to check myself. Like she's letting you go. Yeah, you were being nice, but she's being nice. Thank you. You do the hand. Thank you. You know, you're having a calming effect on people and the power to heal them. It's a real thing. I really wholeheartedly take the consumption of um the power of love and its healing elements serious. Like, I feel that to my core. It's in my spirit. It's in my system. It runs through my veins. It's a real thing. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, no. You know that with love, what happens? Because we already see with hate what's happening. And so we could choose to do something different. You cannot see someone in pain without wanting to help them. You can't. I got screamed at so bad. My friend was so mad at me because I saw this woman with a wheelchair in the middle of a 6-lane busy street. You know, three on this side, three on that side. She's in the middle of the street going towards traffic. Like, I don't think she's going the right way. And my friend was like, don't you get your ass out that car. I'm like, but she needs help. And what I came to realize is the terms is that there were two other cars and maybe two, three cars behind, which means it was probably like what, five or six of us at the light. If all five or six of us that was at the light stopped, then we could have eliminated a whole lot of other issues. But the other people just drove around her. So yeah, it just left me out there getting. But if we are come together as a people and all start having a little more compassion for people, then we can help each other out. She was so mad. She was so mad. Like, you don't know what could have happened. I'm like, I don't, but I don't want. I know damn well I don't want to look at the news on the throw up news and see that a elderly woman got hit on this street that I'm on. No, I got out and I helped her. And then some man walked up, he helped me help her. You know what I mean? Even though in my mind, I'm like, people are cruel. This could be something. They could be trying to just get my car, whatever. I was helping that lady. And, you know, I was safe and protected. And so was she. So I'm just saying, lead a little bit more with kindness. Empaths are very sensitive, highly sensitive. They may be very hard on the exterior, may be very hard. You might think that they don't care. You may think that they're not in a position to you might think they're actually nonchalant, but they're not. Talitha says leaders do not take classes, and we have so many bad leaders. Talitha, this is so true. I'm going to keep it real with y'all. I'm not trying to make this a political thing or anything like that because I definitely try to stay away from that. But in my book, in my first class of leadership, it's called The Dark Side of Leadership. I'll let y'all speculate and guess who's in the book. I'll let y'all guess who's in the book currently. Currently a leader, currently in the book of The Dark Side of Leadership. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Some empaths are introverts. Some are highly intuitive. Sometimes you need a long time to reset. And sometimes you're a target for them energy vampires. Like I said, they know. They know when you come around, they can pull on your energy, they can absorb you and sniff you and hug you, and then next thing you know, you whoa out, right? You have a lot of your senses are heightened, empaths. Your senses are heightened. You have a huge heart. And sometimes we just give it away too much. And I do want to say it's okay. But in this sense, it's not okay. Because once you give too much, you don't have enough to give yourself. And that's where the challenge is coming in. And so, let's do a couple daily tools that we can do. And then we are going to call it a night. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm so happy y'all here. I'm so happy y'all here. I still need to know who the empaths are because we might need to do a workshop. We might need to do a little kumbaya workshop. So what I'll tell you is, and this is from personal experience, because I really had to let it all fall and break in order for me to see what and how to put it all back together. And so it's okay to not be okay. There's a lot of things that go on that happen with us throughout life, and you just don't feel okay about it. Sometimes you don't have the proper people to talk to. Sometimes you may not want to discuss it with anybody or feel like anybody understands you. But once you understand yourself and you acknowledge that thing and name that thing, just tell yourself it's okay. Don't allow anything or anyone to make you try to change your ideology to whatever theirs is, what the world thinks you're supposed to feel and how you're supposed to look out for other people. No, you have a good heart for a reason because it takes that. We need good-hearted people. I keep saying that I need all my good-hearted people to be like the K-pop demon hunters, and then we do the takedown. You know what I'm saying? That's what I keep thinking. I keep wishing for that. I don't know if I dreamed about it or what. Like, I think people, it's almost like the Care Bears. You know what I'm saying? You send out the heart, boom, 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 and then it spreads and it spreads and it spreads, and then it gets more contagious than the way we have been carrying on. So maybe I need to give me one of the. Maybe I should have AI make me a little. And it's okay to care about others, but just be mind of yourself. Be mind of your self care. If you know you have been pouring and exerting a lot of energy into someone else or something that they're experiencing, put a little bit of self care in there for yourself, whatever that looks like for you. Like for me, I feel like I need to go to the spa or something. I haven't gotten a massage in a while or something. I haven't gotten a stretch in a while or something. Um, because taking all the feels of the world can be damaging to your nervous system. And I know if you are truly an empath, you feel for people around the world. You don't just got to feel for the people on your block or in your neighborhood. Like, oh, well, that's outside my perimeter. Don't really care. Not my problem. Yeah, but it's on this earth with you, happening around you. There's someone else hurting because of said things. It's just, I don't know. I would like to have a conversation with the people who think like me, though. Find you someone to talk to, whether it be a therapist, a coach, a mentor, because with all that's going on in this world, it's whooping our ass. And you got to just strap up and get in the ring and fight round for round, pound for pound, baby. Um, there's a lot of negativity being pushed around, evil being pushed around, shoved around. So remember, you could do some barefoot grounding. You could sit or stand barefoot somewhere in nature. Now, I am having an issue with nature because nature keeps being altered, and I'm over this altered air. Another story, but yeah, what we're breathing in, my system doesn't agree with at all. You can do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 sensory check. Name 5 things you can see, 4 things that you can feel, 3 things that you can hear, 2 things that you can smell, and 1 thing that you can taste. And you can kind of sit in that for a few minutes. Hand over heart breathing. Place your hand over your heart, breathe slowly, and just focus on watching your chest, feeling your chest rise and fall, and then kind of get in tune with the rhythm of your heart. When was the last time you really just like checked out your pulse and the rhythm that it's going? Is it fast? Is it slow? Does it got a little beat to it? Um, it's very important to connect with the heart because the heart, we need it. And then wall push exercises. You press your palms into the wall and notice that the grounding pressure through your arms and your feet. So the oh, okay. It's like okay. I was wondering what happened last time. I think this wants to make sure that you're still here. We're still here. Okay, so it must just let you be live for an hour. Got it. I'm learning. I don't know much about TikTok, but I definitely appreciate all y'all in here. I don't even know what's all the stuff flying on the screen. I see I got 896 hearts. Whoop whoop. Come on, hearts. Come on, hearts. I love that. Um, and so I remember as a kid, y'all remember where if you were outside kid or whatever, but you remember when they would have you press up against the wall and then step out and your arms will raise. Do y'all remember that? I don't know. I had a brother. I had brothers, so they used to have me doing all kind of stuff. And maybe you should make sure you get your brown boundary practices in, energetic check-ins before you go to a social space. Take a minute to yourself, set your intentions, imagine yourself with this protective boundary, and allow yourself to have compassion without absorption. You can be compassionate without absorbing. Grounding practices help restore those boundaries. Um, just so that the empathy part of you don't have to come emotional ownership to yourself, right? And when you overstimulate it, please think about what I said about those deep core breathings. I'm working on it myself, making sure that I can feel when they say your stomach should rise and fall, and it's important so that that old air can get pumped out and new fresh oxygen can come in. You can journal, finding out where you feel safe in your body. And so asking yourself stuff like, when was the last time that you left and you felt this drain? What was going on? What was happening? Um, and what made you feel so drained? And journal about it so that you can go back and read it and kind of understand what you were feeling in that moment, as well as what you can do to protect, be compassionate. I love that statement. Be compassionate without being um, absorbent, right? You don't need the emotional ownership of other people's ownership. And then another journal thing is you can ask yourself, what physical sensations tell you that you are absorbing someone else's energy, and maybe you're just not overwhelmed from yourself and all the life that you got going on. So I want you guys to say this affirmation along with me, or you could type it in, or whatever you want to do. I am rooted. I am safe. I keep what is mine and I return what is not. Sometimes you have to tell yourself maybe 3 times in a row, I'm rooted, I'm safe, I keep what is mine and I return what is not. I am rooted, I am safe, I keep what's mine and return what's not. All right, so I appreciate you guys listening. I know that being an empath is a meaningful strength that carries the psychological and relational costs with unregulation. There's no regulation here, right? You can't be like, oh, my empath is starting to empath. Let me turn it off. If you got the skill, please, please, please help all the rest of us. But understanding that your neurals and your sensory roots and of other empathetic experiences, it clarifies why we ground, why we boundary set, body-based practices, and things like that. Um, this builds yourself some essential tools for safety and resilience. You need to make sure that you feel safe and rooted in resiliency. I am your favorite love prescriber, Miss Love Doctor. If I wasn't your favorite love prescriber, I am now. So stay rooted, stay kind, take care of your nervous system. Okay? You want to talk more about the nervous system? Let me know. Let's talk more about the nervous system. I did a whole program on it because my nervous system was shot. I had to figure myself out. What's wrong with me? But then I was like, you know what's wrong with you. We got to fix it. So if no one has told you that they loved you today, I would definitely love to be the first. So lead with love, y'all. There's no time like now, the now, that we need to lead with more love. Okay? Show somebody some kindness. Show somebody some love. Show somebody some compassionate. Maybe, and I challenge you to show a stranger. I challenge you to show a stranger some love and compassion. Thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. Y'all got me leaning in. I gotta figure out how I want to sit in this seat, because when I sit back, I feel like too cool, too relaxed. Then when I sit up, I feel like I'm engaged. But then I want to lean to the side. We gonna figure it out. But that's why I wanted this year. I technically want to put my feet up. That was the whole purpose of this year. So I can sit and put my feet up and be comfortable and have great conversations with you guys. So remind you, I love you guys. Have a great night. Bye, TikTok. Bye.